Hey everyone, Jordan here from ThatCarLife, and today I'm going to be showing you guys the top 5 best first cars that you can buy for cheap in 2024. So when it's finally the time to buy your first car, it's such an awesome time. It's very, very exciting. Like, you finally get your license, you finally get to like feel the freedom of driving around in your own car, going wherever you want to go, picking up your mates, cruising around, having a blast. It's a whole lot of fun, and yeah, when you get your license, when you get your first car, you're going to open yourself up to a whole bunch of awesome fun experiences. And when you do that, you want to make sure that you're driving the right car. You're driving a car that you love, a car that you enjoy, and a car that you can have fun in and a whole lot of awesome, cool memories in. So yeah, picking that first car, it can be very difficult because yeah, you've got to make sure that you make the right choice so you can get a car that you actually enjoy and that you don't regret getting, pretty much. And when you are getting a first car, you're normally pretty young. Like for me, for example, I was 16 when I got my first car on my learners, and yeah, I was just working a retail job at Woolies stacking shelves. So yeah, most of you guys, I'm sure if you're getting your first car, you're probably in a similar boat, you know, still in school, working a casual job or something like that. But it is definitely still possible. Like when I first got my L's, definitely the market for cars and the prices were way cheaper than what they were today. Back then, we're talking like 2015, 2016, we could get really cool cars for pretty cheap. Like my first car was a DC2 Honda Integra with a B Series VTEC, and I paid like $4.5 grand for it. So yeah, back then, very cheap. But for the same car now, it's worth like over 18 grand. So yeah, definitely a massive difference in prices, but don't worry guys, don't lose hope. In 2024, you can still get some pretty cool cars that won't break your budget. And today with the cars that I'm going to be showing you guys, they are within that affordable budget that, you know, if you are still in school, you're working a casual job, you can still save up enough to buy these cars, and yeah, they're affordable. So without further ado, let's get started. All right guys, so to start us off, we're going to be looking at Facebook Marketplace, because honestly, where else do you get the bargains these days? Like back when I first got my first car, I was looking at Gumtree. That's where I got mine. That's where the bargains used to be, and you can still find some bargains on Gumtree, but to be quite honest with you, Facebook Marketplace, that's where it's at right now. So yeah, as you can see, just on today's picks, there is a whole bunch of variety here, including an Integra, a beautiful spec Triple S, that's nice. Far out, the FD is sick as well. Okay, so this is what it's like as a car guy. You just go through Marketplace, you can just get lost for like hours, just scrolling through, like just looking aimlessly like at random stuff that you shouldn't be buying. But yeah, far out, it gets very tempting, doesn't it? Anyway, so the first car that's going to be on the list for you guys that are regular viewers on the channel, this isn't going to be much of a surprise to you, but first car that I'm going to recommend to you guys is a SSS Pulsar. So I'm going to search this up right now, SSS Pulsar. Now we're talking the N14 or the N15 SSS Pulsar. Both cars are awesome first cars. I've made heaps of videos on my channel if you want to check them out. I'll link some of them up here if you want to see like more in-depth reasonings and driving and reviews, all that stuff as to why it's an amazing first car. But quick summary, quick recap, they're good looking, they've got an SR20, they're manual, and 4-door, you can fit all your mates in it. It's just a fun car all around to drive, and it looks cool, and it's got really good street cred. And pricing wise, they're still pretty affordable. They haven't really shot up with the, you know, the JDM car pricing trend. So yeah, for your first car, a SSS Pulsar is definitely something that you can still get. So just looking at the SSS Pulsars that are coming up right now, like there's a whole bunch of awesome SSSs here that can vary depending on your budget. So if you have a lower budget around like 3 grand, 4 grand, you can still get into a SSS. Yeah, for example, let's just find one that's a bit on the cheaper side. So yeah, for example, here's one that's on a bit of a cheaper side. This one's 5, but yeah, you can probably get it for 4 or something, I don't know. So yeah, if you're buying one that's a bit on the cheaper side, as you can see, the body's got a few dents and dings. The paint's probably not the best, but overall, it's got some good mods on it. It does have high Ks, but it's a 4-door SSS with a whole bunch of mods on it. That's pretty cheap. So for your first car, you can't really go wrong, especially if you want to learn how to work on it and stuff. It's a pretty good car to learn on and stuff. An example like that, that's something a bit on the cheaper side that you might need to put a bit of work into. If not, there are other ones here, like this one's a little bit more expensive, as you can see. This one's actually pretty clean. It's got higher Ks, but this one looks pretty much stock. Yeah, stock airbox, stock interior. Wow, this one's really clean. Like, wow, okay, that's really nice. But yeah, the good deals are out there, guys. Like this one's up for 6.5 grand, and it's like completely stock, immaculate. That's actually a really good find. Yeah, one of you guys definitely get this. It's very rare to find a stock example of a SSS, so that one's actually really rare. But yeah, as you can see, this blue SSS, I've seen this before. I'm pretty sure it's cammed. Yeah, this one's got 260 pond cams. This engine's rebuilt, has pond cams. So yeah, this one's around 7 grand. And yeah, look at this. Body seems to be in pretty good nick. It's got some nice parts on it. It's got cams. This is what I'm saying, guys. For around 3 to 5, 6 grand, you can find yourself a pretty clean SSS, either stock or close to stock, or that's something that needs a bit of work. But yeah, those are N15 Pulsars. Here's an example of an N14 SSS, which is honestly one of my favorites. This one looks really, really clean. This is a Jap spec as well. Yeah, look at this. They just look so good on white walls. You can't go wrong with an N14 as well. Like, in my opinion, it's such a good looking car and such an awesome first car to own. Like, literally, look at that. That's just such a vibe. Wow. Yeah, logbooks and everything. Yeah, that's a really clean car. But yeah, as you guys can see, the SSS Pulsar, you can't really go wrong. SR20, good looking, 4-door. Pretty much for whatever budget you have, there's a SSS Pulsar for you. There's a SSS Pulsar on the lower side, the mid side, and the higher side as well. So having a look at the higher side, this one here is 10 grand, but have a look at this one, guys. This one is 10 grand, but it's got VVL. So this is basically like Nissan's version of VTEC. So this thing will go pretty damn hard, and it would sound amazing as well. And yeah, the bodywork looks pretty clean too. So yeah, with this one, you're spending a bit more. You're on the higher end, you're spending around 10 grand, but you're getting a pretty quick car and a good looking car at that as well. So yeah, if you do have a bit more money to spend, you can get a SSS Pulsar that is, yeah, something like this, where it's on the quicker side and on the cleaner side. This one as well, this N14, very, very clean car. Yeah, this one is got up for 12 grand as an EOI. And this one's turboed as well. So if you want to spend a bit more on a SSS, you definitely can. You'll get something a bit cleaner. This SSS is really, really clean as well. Actually, I think this is a subscriber, James as well. Massive shout out to James. He actually gave me a radiator for my SSS and saved the day. So yeah, this is actually his SSS that's for sale. It's very, very clean. Great example of what I mean. If you wanted to spend a bit more, you can definitely get one that's really clean and really proper, just like these. All right, so I think I made a pretty good case for SSS Pulsars as one of the top 5 cars that you can get for your first car. Next up on the list, we're gonna be looking at the Toyota Corolla Sportivos. Now, some of you guys might be thinking, a Corolla? What are you talking about? But if you guys don't know, the Corolla Sportivo is such an underrated car. Like, honestly, in my opinion, they're really good looking, they sound amazing, and they go pretty damn hard for what they are as well. It's nuts. Pretty sure the same engine that's in these Corolla Sportivos is literally used in a Lotus Elise or an Exige or something like that. You guys can correct me in the comments, but yeah, the exact same engine is used in Lotuses. Like, I think they supercharge it, but the fact they're using a Sportivo engine in a Lotus shows just how awesome they are. And these Sportivos you can still get within that first car budget as well. So for example, this one here is 5,200 that they've got up for. It's literally manual, leather seats, has an exhaust, looks cool, and it's 4-door as well, so you can still carry around all your mates. It's got a sunroof, so it's a bit more modern than the SSS Pulsars, the leather seats and like the chrome interior pieces and stuff like that. If you're looking at a bit of the cheaper side, around 5 grand or something, you'll get one like this where, yeah, the body might be a little bit on the rougher side, it might have higher Ks, but yeah, you're still getting a pretty good car for the money. But if you are spending a bit more on a Sportivo, here's one, for example, this black one. This one's really, really clean. Honestly, if I was to get a Sportivo, I think I'd get one in black as well. Like, so obviously it's like subjective as to like how good looking a car is to different people, but I think the Corolla Sportivo is a pretty good looking car, and for a first car, I don't think you can really go wrong, because yeah, as I said, they sound cool, they go pretty hard, and they rev out hard too. These things rev to like 9,000 plus RPM, and they sound hectic in the high rev. So yeah, especially when you're hitting lift, hitting that crossover, can't go wrong. But yeah, as you can see, for around 5 grand, 8 grand, maybe 10 if it's something even cleaner, similar to a SSS, you can get a Sportivo within that price range that is, yeah, a cool car. It's got street cred, it's good looking, sounds good, goes hard, and just can't go wrong for a first car. So these are all reasons why the Corolla Sportivo is on the top 5 list for the first cars that you should buy in 2024. So the next up on the list, we're going to be looking at Hondas, in particular an EK Honda Civic. So since I first got my license, Hondas have shot up dramatically, like through the roof in prices. So pretty much when I first got my license, yeah, you could get B series VTEC Hondas for cheap, but as you guys know now, the market has shot up like through the roof, so you can't really get a B series Honda for under 10 grand anymore. But don't give up hope, you can still get pretty clean EK Honda Civics for under 10 grand that are in this workable first car budget, that are still good looking cars, still fun to drive, manual. You can actually do a lot to them as well with modifications. So just having a look here, for example, there's a few different modified EK Honda Civics up here for sale that are in a whole bunch of varying different budgets and price ranges, and I guess condition as well. So look at this one here, for example. This one's 3 grand. Definitely needs a bit of bodywork, as you can see, but it's lowered, it has wheels, it has an exhaust, the wing tip as well, coilovers from what we can see. But yeah, obviously it needs a bit of work. It doesn't have rego, and it needs, yeah, as I said, a bit of work as well. But if you put a bit of TLC into this, you can make it a pretty clean car and a pretty clean first car. This is another one here, for example. This one's up for 5. Definitely needs like a respray or something. But yeah, a D series, they're very reliable motors. For a first car, you want a motor and a car that's going to be really reliable, especially because you're probably going to be thrashing it around and stuff like that. But these, I guess, are examples that you can buy like an EK Civic on the cheaper side that already has some modifications, but you definitely will need to put a bit more work into it. If you're spending a bit more, here's one, for example. This one's up for 6.5. This one is stanced like really nice on some really clean wheels, as you can see. The interior is nice. It's got a nice steering wheel, some really nice bride seats, as you can see. Like, this one looks really nice. Got an exhaust, all that stuff. So yeah, if you're spending a bit more, you can get one that's a bit cleaner, has a bit more tasteful mods and stuff like that. Here's another one as well, this green one. This one's up for 4.5, which is pretty cheap. But yeah, still manual. This one's pretty stock, which is good because you can make your own touches to it and kind of make it into your own. But it's got a couple little mods. It's got like a front lip, a big intake as well. But yeah, as you guys can kind of see from these examples, an EK Civic, it is definitely something you can get in that price range. They still have pretty good street cred as well, depending on how you modify it. But for a first car, you honestly can't go wrong. You still have a whole lot of fun in these. The possibilities are endless with these Hondas. Like, they're so fun to modify, easy to learn on and work on. And yeah, you'll have a whole lot of fun, awesome experiences with an EK Civic as a first car. So yeah, these are definitely some of the reasons why the EK Civic is on this top 5 list for one of the best first cars that you can buy for cheap in 2024. So next up on the list, this car, it probably won't be a surprise to some of you guys that have watched the channel for a while as well, is the CE Lancer Coupe. Now, the CE Lancer Coupe, it's honestly a pretty underrated car. I've owned one before. I've done my own like full rattle can respray on it, which was pretty fun. So if you guys want to check it out, I'll link it up here if you want to do see that. So, but yeah, overall, the CE Lancers have a whole lot of potential. Now, CE Lancers don't have as much street cred as some of the other cars because quite a lot of them have been riced out pretty bad, and yeah, it hasn't really led to them having that good of a reputation. But I have seen some really clean CE Lancers, and you can actually do these very nicely, and you can still get some pretty good street cred in these if you mod it nicely. You know, I mean, honestly, it's each to their own. You can mod your car the way you want to mod it, whatever makes you happy. But overall, street cred aside, the car itself to drive, from my personal experience, is a whole lot of fun, and with the right exhaust and intake as well, you can get them to sound pretty nice too. So yeah, the CE Lancers do have a whole lot of potential. Like, if you guys want to see what other YouTubers have done with theirs, just for an example, like Rex H has turboed his CE Lancer and it sounds and goes absolutely amazing. Mike Lake, for example, has turned his 4-door CE Lancer into like an Evo rear-wheel drive turbo, like with a CA in it. Like, it's nuts. Like, there is a whole lot of crazy possibilities that you can do with this car in the future. For your first car, it can do everything you need, and yeah, have a whole lot of cool experiences with it. Yeah, price range wise, you can get them for pretty cheap. Like, I paid $900 for mine back in the day, but yeah, it was pretty rough body wise. But as an example, here's one here. This is a red 2-door coupe for $2.5 grand. It's already got some wheels on it. It's already lowered from what I can see, but oh, actually, I think this one's automatic as well. But yeah, you can still find a manual one for within this price range as well. I'm actually kind of surprised that there isn't as many for sale as I thought there would be. Normally there's quite a few. There is this one here. This one's on a bit more on the expensive side, but as you can see, it's very clean. Like, it has a few blemishes, but overall pretty damn nice, pretty good condition, and it's manual as well. But as you can see, the interior and exterior in this is pretty immaculate. And this one only has 82,000 Ks, so that's like stupid low Ks. So I guess I can kind of justify why it's that expensive. But yeah, the CE Lancer Coupe, in my opinion, is probably the best one. Like, this guy's turboed his. This one's a bit of a project for 5K. This one's 3K, as you can see, but yeah, this one's been like abandoned. It's got like a droid kit, I believe. That's like an old school spec kit. This one definitely would need quite a bit of work, but hey, if you're willing to put the effort into it, you can make them look pretty damn nice. At the same time as the CE Lancer, there is also a Mirage as well. Just as a quick example, here's a Mirage that's pretty cheap, 3 grand manual. You can lower them, make them look nice with exhaust and wheels and stuff. I'm not too much of a fan of Mirages. I do prefer the CE Lancer Coupes, but as an alternative, if there isn't any CE Lancers for sale when you're looking, looking. A Mirage is something that's pretty similar. Yeah, here's a silver one here. Please be manual. This one's automatic. Why are they all automatic? I can't find a manual one. I don't know why. I mean, look, not to knock on auto. If you want an automatic, that's fine. I just think that not having these in the manual just takes away so much of the fun. The manual in these cars does make a whole bunch of a difference. Yeah, okay, it doesn't seem like there's too many for sale, but I'm sure when you guys are looking, there will be something. I'm definitely still putting this on the list because the CE Lancer has a whole lot of potential. Yeah, you can still get it within that cheap first car budget. So yeah, these are all good reasons why this car is on this top 5 list. All right, so last but not least, the last car that is on this top 5 list is this Subaru Impreza, and I'm talking the 4-door like RS model. I think that is definitely one of the best first cars that you can buy for cheap right now. So with the Impreza RS, these cars have a whole lot of potential. They pretty much have the same body shape as the WRX, and with a few mods you can pretty much turn it into like a full WRX replica, or you can kind of turn it into your own thing and your own look with a whole bunch of different body kits and stuff that these cars have readily available for them. The Subaru Impreza RS is a good looking car. It sounds good. It's 4 doors, so there's plenty of room for all your mates. It's manual. It's a Subaru, so you can have that Subi boxer rumble as well. So here's some that are for sale at the moment. I'm not really talking about the hatches, which, don't get me wrong, the hatches are nice, but I really prefer the sedan Impreza RSs. Here's one as an example. This one's $6,000. So yeah, definitely within that budget, that first car budget, this is there, especially with some negotiating as well. But yeah, as you can see, body-wise, it could probably do with like a buff and polish or something like that. But this has one of the mods that are really popular on these, which is putting the STI spoiler on it, which looks pretty cool in my opinion. Yeah, with a bit of mods and a bit of touch-ups, like lowering it, exhaust, different wheels, like, and you can actually turn it into a really cool first car. This one, for example, was $6,000, but yeah, you can find one for around $4, $5, $6, $7,000. So it's definitely within that first car budget. Here's another one, for example. This one's $7,000, and this one's already got some mods on it, as you can see. This one's lowered. It's got side skirts and an exhaust as well. And yeah, it does look like it has a bit of damage, but honestly, it's nothing that you can't fix as well. So yeah, obviously those examples are a bit more on the higher side for pricing because they're a bit cleaner. Yeah, this one, for example, was $4,000, but obviously body-wise, it's a bit on the rougher end, and yeah, from what I can see, it's got like 300,000 on the chassis. But yeah, overall, if these things are, you know, taken care of and serviced nicely, they can actually be pretty reliable as well. Yeah, I guess this is proof that you can get into these cars for pretty cheap as well. But if you're getting one of these for cheap, it's going to need a bit of TLC on both the motor and the body to get it really clean and get it reliable and nice. But if that's what you're looking for a first car, something you can learn to work on and stuff, this is definitely one of those cars that you can do that in as well. There's so much potential with it, heaps of aftermarket potential with modifications that you can do to it, body kits, exhaust, and all that kind of stuff. You honestly can't go wrong with one of these. So yeah, these are all different reasons why this car is on this top 5 list for your first car. Alright guys, so I'll leave the video there, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. And if you're looking to get a first car, I hope this video could help you guys make a decision on what to get for your first car as well. And if you guys want to see more videos like this, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll definitely pump out some more. So yeah, I'll leave it there guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys next time on That Car Life.